Can I get a drum roll, please? That'll do. Who just clapped?
Was that a clap?
No,
That was
you
a
don't.
clap.
God, we're off to a great start. Anyway, hi guys, welcome back to another one of these. I guess this is a quarterly stream that we do now,
Yeah,
right?
dude, seasonal. That's what we're doing. We're following the season. So as you all know, every 3 months, new PR. And this is the fourth one. So congratulations on a full
Yeah,
year.
yeah. This is the first power rankings of 2020.
Happy birthday.
Well,
Happy
technically it's
birthday stream.
2019, but I guess it's the first one in 2020.
You got me. I cannot dispute fact, but yeah, we're gonna just go over some just premisey stuff before we get into like the meat of things. Number one, again, apologies for being like a couple of weeks late to the party, but with the holidays, things get kind of weird. So I appreciate everybody that was patient with us through the process. It's the same as it's always been for the most part. There are 15 people on the list. Um, from people who have some people have submitted and some people had their stuff looked up for them because even if you didn't submit, you weren't completely omitted from the power rankings. But I don't want you to complain to me when you could have been higher or lower than somebody because guess what? Nobody knows your results better than you do, and the internet is a weird place. So we're only going to be able to get some of the information easily. So is that
Yeah, I think
like
I
that a
think
match for next time?
this is a good time actually. Last time I think we did this toward the end, and I think we jumped right into the rankings. This time I think it'd be smart to actually start with how the rankings work. And this is kind of a reminder because we do this. We've been doing this now for a few seasons, where essentially we request that everyone who is interested in being on the PR and thinks that they have a chance, you essentially submit an application, and all this stuff is going to be linked in the YouTube description after all this, just so
Yes.
all the information's out there. And the idea is you fill out a form, who your best wins are, what your placings are, all that kind of stuff, and then the panel, which consists of Mr. Koopa, R. Hungry, RJ, James, and Biddy, then go ahead and look through it, compare the wins, this, that, the other thing, and all of those forms are public now. And that's why we have, when it's submitted, some of you guys were asking how to make your forms public. It's important so that way everyone can see it. So that way the information is just out there. It's simple and all of that fun stuff. So
Yeah, basically if you're concerned about eligibility, as long as you're a permanent resident of New Jersey, uh, and you attend like I don't know enough stuff to like make it look cool. Like there isn't technically a limit for how many tournaments you have to attend because we did alter that rule this past season to make up for like a lot of the PGR level talent because not everybody has time to go to locals because of a very busy tournament schedule.
So what are the altered rules this season? I think that's actually maybe a good thing to start with as well.
Everything's mostly the same. Like
There's no real altered rules,
it's just like we're just kind of like updating everything or like refining things as we go. But
It's
like
more like just keeping everybody and letting them know how, like,
yeah,
reminders of rules more than changing the rules.
yeah. So
Alright,
as
cool.
long as you're
lasagna.
yeah, as long as you're a resident and have attended enough stuff and can compile a list, and if you submit it, awesome. You make our jobs a lot easier. If you didn't,
Fuck you.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'm
be nice.
disappointed. I'm disappointed. Not gonna lie, but my feelings will be okay. But like I said, the internet isn't as reliable as a source as you might think. So, if there's a result or a random thing that we didn't notice in your screening process, uh, tough luck. Sorry. Yeah. Anybody else got anything to add before we just kind of
No, I
jump
think
right
I
into it?
think that I think that's a good place to start. As you can see on the top right of the overlay, if you are watching this and not just listening to it later on. By the way, we're on Spotify now. Just want to pitch that real quick, so you can find all these things on Spotify if you are interested in listening to some basically details about the players we're going to get into. But on the top right, there is a calendar, and I put that there because this time around, I kind of want to explain to people what the best courses are if you are interested in trying to make a PR push, or if you're just generally uncertain of how events go on. But now with that being said, I guess we could start. And I know that we've been starting at number 1 as it gets more interesting towards 15, which I think is what we're doing again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
People
that's
eat that shit up.
That's what you guys are looking at. So, Coupon, I'm going to
Feels-
kind of let you start this off then, because
Sure. I mean, well, number one shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. As we can just get that slide all up and going. Well, you look at that, maintaining his throne for the umpteenth time since Ultimate came out, NRG Esports Nairo. Uh, Again, there really isn't much else to say about Nairo except for the fact that nationally he's really come to form outside of just also being a local beast. Like he's got wins on Tweak in state as a first place in Tri-State Showdown to show for that as well. Great showing at the last Smash Ultimate Summit as well, and a top 4 finish at Big House. Nairo's has been really, really solid this season, so there's really not much else to say other than that.
Well, the thing is, I think the one interesting thing about Nairo being at number 1 is last season this was very debatable because
Yes.
Because, I mean, spoiler alerts, a very close race between the current number 2, which we'll get to in a minute. But it was a big surprise because a lot of people did not expect to see him in number 1, considering that Tweak also lives in the state. Also, spoiler alert, Tweak's number 2. But that shouldn't have really been a surprise because
It's just the way the PGR is calculated. It's every 6 months, and we do it every 3 months.
Right.
So, like, when Nairo's, like, earlier half did better than Tweak's latter, like, earlier half, it's like, what the heck? Why is Tweak number 2?
Dude, people did not agree with that last time around, but the cool part is I think it became kind of obvious as the season went around. And I'm not going to say Tweak is struggling because he's obviously still like a top 5 player, top 3 player.
Oh, he just went right into number 2. Nice.
Yeah, well that's I had already mentioned
surprise.
him, but the
Yeah,
thing
it
is,
doesn't matter. It's like, what's the point of the build-up?
well,
Yeah.
right, there isn't one. I mean, this is what happens when you live in a state with a bunch of PGR or formerly PGR ranked players.
Y'all knew who number 1 and 2 were going to be.
Yeah, you just know.
And,
If you thought any
solo
different,
mid Tweak. There you go.
yeah, shout outs to Tweak for a full season in New Jersey and still with a fantastic array of wins. And Nairo with 2 wins on Tweak, this PGR season, probably looking at I'd say 25th in the world with that sort of resume. So
yeah, it's pretty interesting. So yeah, Tweak going a lot of Joker this season, whereas the last season, which was his first season in New Jersey for Ultimate, it was the slide had Pokemon Trainer on it.
This slide went through like multiple iterations because just like, wait, he also played this character. Oh yeah, there's that character. May I remind you, he went King K. Rool for a canonical set this season. So,
Yeah, it was like a toss-up between putting Wario or Joker. It didn't really matter.
Yeah.
We could just put Tweak's face on Tweak main thing. You just put another Tweak there. You can just play whatever you want, and it's like, all right, it's gonna work.
Yeah, I mean, he's been kind of going Wario since the beginning, and he still goes Wario despite the love-hate relationship he seems to have.
On and off.
I mean, can you blame him? That's Wario.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean. So, all right. So this is, in my opinion, I guess where the real show starts because there's always, a little bit of uncertainty of where the next several people rank. But this season, I actually think it's kind of maybe a clearer picture. But who wants to do the honors for number 3?
Younger can do it.
All right. Who's number 3 again? Number 3 is my friend James Rivers, as he goes by now.
Rivers 3 and Noodles.
Rivers 3 and 1000.
Yes, exactly.
All right, so probably not too much of a surprise, considering that he started picking up towards the later half of that PGR season, and then with tournament places like Battle for the East, and he's kind of been cleaning up this Jersey again. There was a point where he was having trouble with some of the local guys, but now he's kind of just beating everybody again.
Yeah, he only really gets super gate kept by Tweak and Nairo, and that's also at the biggest stage possible. So
yeah, he got I think a 17th or something at the Congo Saga, and he lost to Nairo and the Buzz or whatever tournament it was.
It was Congo Saga, I think.
Yeah, but it's oh, I beat everyone except Tri-State.
Yeah, that seems to happen a lot, and that's been since the game started. And the one notable thing about James this season is that he's added a secondary in Diddy Kong, which has actually been putting in a lot of work for him in some of the matches that he really doesn't like.
He's using Diddy Kong right now.
Yeah, man. Literally right
literally
now,
right
the
now,
Platinum Star Weekly.
playing at Platinum Star.
Which
Funny how that
we'll
works
be
out.
we'll be hosting that after this. But in the
Do you think they're
meantime,
streaming us in the venue right now?
I think probably.
If blink twice if you're watching us live right now. I
How
want
would
to
you see
improve.
that?
Just do it
Shut up.
anyways. Do it anyways.
Just do it
blink,
anyway,
blink
man.
twice.
Just shut up.
All
Shut
right.
up. Shut up.
All right.
Number 4.
So number 4. Put out your side bets, but oops. Put out your side bets. I still struggle with workflow on Streamlabs OBS, but it's all right. We're getting there.
I just love seeing all the tweets like, "Yo, side bet." I'm like, "Yo, can I take that bet?"
Yeah, that's
I think bribes.
That's cool. What's the word they use when you have
Collusion?
insider information? But anyways, number 4, and this one also you could have the hints at because Leon is a internationally known player at this point. Everyone knows Leon because he's the Bowser guy, and Zero even said so. So
yes. So then it must be fact. Yeah, Leon probably a much more quieter season than he's used to. Like, it's definitely a case of the meta's catching up to my man because he hasn't been doing like too well at the bigger events as what he used to. But still a really impressive resume of wins you can see right there. So.
Well, the thing about Leon is he's gotten to travel a lot, especially since he got his, the Space Station Gaming sponsor. He's been going to a lot of things, and even before that, what was I don't see it on here. I think it must have been 2 seasons ago. What was the one that House organizes in the city? Defend the North. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh yeah, word. That was last season.
That was last season.
That was
Like the very beginning of last season.
I would say that's when I feel like he really started to go to like everything at that point. So I feel like he kind of got like a really good. He started to go to 2GG stuff on the West Coast, then even those weird Midwest events that 2GG had, and then like obviously he goes to all the things around here. But yeah, I think what you said, Koopa, is right on the money. I think like the meta kind of catches up a little bit, especially to Bowser main. But the thing is Leon, I didn't put his secondary on the cards, but he works on a bunch of characters. Like he has a Game & Watch 2. He has a Bowser Jr., which took people by surprise. He played Wizzy that one time using him, and like actually did pretty well. So he's definitely he's very deservedly where he's at for sure.
We have over 100 viewers right now. That's crazy.
Hey man, people want to know their rankings.
Facts. Yeah. So like again, good stuff to Leon. Again, a much quieter season nationally than he would have liked, but even when he did go out to things, he did relatively well, as you can see by the resume of wins.
Yeah, and I think someone pointed out in the chat, I think there was a mistake on the slide. I believe he got 4th at Nightmare in Smashville. The slide said 9th, so I do apologize about that.
Yes, that's correct.
Anyways,
bad.
So Leon's been traveling a lot and doing a lot of good things. And even if he's not coming in top 8s, he's still coming in 13th, 17th, 9th, all those things. So definitely good.
I love the way that we laid out who's talking about who, because we gets to talk about his favorite player.
Oh boy, you ready? You ready to do number 5 then?
Yeah.
All right.
Jude didn't submit. Ha 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 ha. That's all I gotta say. I'm kind of pissed off about that.
Yeah, extra work for us, so that's how it goes.
You will have a stern talking to on the car to glitch this weekend, young man. But
but Jude just wins things occasionally, or almost wins things and beats people on the way there. I'm sorry.
I think that lesson you said is probably most accurate because he's always taken like all these amazing sets off people and doing really cool things like gameplay wise and kind of stunting. But like, you'll see 2nd place, 3rd place, whatever. And I think that's really just a matter of time for him in terms of just like kind of finishing off the performance. But I mean, he's obviously incredible. And this isn't new. He's doing it in Smash 4 with Sonic, and now he's doing it with Wolf. And like, I don't know. I think I've seen that Sonic rear its head a couple times over the past several months.
He keeps tweeting about it, but I never see it.
Yeah, so, maybe one time we'll see it, but yeah, Jackal coming in and, again, starting to travel a little bit and getting some good results. I think there was a feeling of kind of getting snubbed on the PGR this season for him because he actually did travel and place pretty well. But, I don't know how the PGR works, so I don't really have anything clear to add on that. But a detail.
Granted, a lot of what we're showing is only like a small fraction of the season that these people had, but yeah, Jude did get a chance to travel a fair bit this season, and whatever he did travel, he did well. Like as you can see, he still like polices the region pretty well. The weeklies here are really fucking hard, so like,
Oh yeah.
I don't think anybody should like be upset about
Oh,
that.
that's the
'cause,
other
like,
thing, man. He goes. How many weeklies does Jackal go to? He goes to
Like
like
3
all
or
of them.
4 a week.
Yeah,
He goes to literally
be-
all of them.
yeah, it must be nice having a driver's license. So.
Oh yeah.
And time. Oh boy, I miss having free time. But yeah, good luck to Jude, and hopefully he gets a chance to continue proving why he is a PGR player. I'm sorry.
He'll get there. I don't really have a doubt. And the thing
I'm coming
is,
over a cold.
yeah, I know. I have that same PGR cold.
Panda flu.
The panda flu. Anyways, so number 6, I think you guys could probably guess by now. So I'm gonna jump right into it.
Yeah.
And
These three are constantly switching places.
They
So,
are,
like,
and I would
when
like,
one person pops off, like another person kind of has a bit of a down year, down season. But like, yeah, it's usually the three horsemen of Jude, Justin, and Leon that are switching between this like this lower echelon of this mid range of the top 5, top 6, and this time it's going to Justin again. Not as active as a season as he would have liked, but whenever he did go out to things, he still, is placing top 8, placing top, 32 at Big House, a share outside of top 16. Top 8 finish at Tri-State Showdown, and winning a pretty stacked Platinum Star. The Platinum Stars are obviously nothing to scoff at either.
That one I believe had James in it. There was a lot of people there.
Yeah, and mind you, with going through a cycle where he's openly said it that he's not really vibing with the game right now. Hopefully tomorrow, brings a character that can, bring some vigor back to him. But yeah, the Ice Climbers are scary.
Wait, no,
maybe.
Well, I don't know, man. Yeah, I think I'm glad you brought up that point.
He's banking on it, bro. He's banking on it.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, and I know he is in chat, and I don't think I'll be offending him, but like basically, yeah, he hasn't really been vibing with the game. And the Ice Climbers, I will say, I'm pretty sure because I was looking through the Platinum Star results, the Ice Climbers for the past 3 months of the season have showed up on that graphic. So this isn't just like I didn't put it there for a meme. He's legitimately been using Ice Climbers a lot. He used him at Tri-State Showdown. He had a pretty good set against Arfang in top 8 there. So, this is something Wishes has been doing for a while, where he just kind of picks up a character and just gets good. But
this character's stupid.
Yeah, but so he makes it work, and obviously he's got the stand. I kind of reluctantly put Pokemon Trainer on there because I know he also has an Inkling, but for the interest of space, I didn't put that. But in either case, that's what most people know him for. But yeah, doing a really good job. I personally hope he keeps playing, but we'll see what happens. Definitely don't keep doing something you hate. That is for sure.
Heck yeah! Like I should probably stop being friends with Hungry then, because I hate being friends with Hungry.
Then you just stop.
Well, I mean, what?
And
so I'm going through a tunnel. That's who number 7 is. I forgot.
Yeah. So we know who number 7 is. Actually the same as number 7 last season, and that is
how about that?
Our good friend Bidman.
Biddy.
Will to win Biddy.
Again, not really much of a surprise with Biddy. He's like kind of being people left and right. I mean, the wins are right there.
Yeah. It's always one of those cases where, like, the end of a season comes around, and you're just like, oh, yeah, Biddy had a pretty good season. Like,
yeah.
I can't count the number of times I've done that where and he even just like, yeah, I don't know. I go to school. I want to focus on my other endeavors. And then whenever he shows up, he, beats top 5 players in the state and gets these really, really good finishes, both at the weekly and the monthly variety. And I'm choosing to showcase the players ball, because that's when Biddy kind of popped off.
Dude, he got 4th. He was the highest placing New Jersey player there, and I'm gonna say no one expected that. Like, James was there, Wishes. I actually think Jackal DQ'd there, if I remember.
He
correctly.
did not.
Yeah, he didn't go. But in either case, yeah, Biddy held it down and getting some good wins. I mean, he kind of whips up on Jewel. Jewel is an incredible player. I think that's a matchup thing, but regardless, like,
I feel kind of bad because, like, Biddy, unfortunately, like, not to any of his fault, like, had a bit of a Bankai bracket because, like, the 2 of the higher seeded players on his side were upset in earlier rounds. So, granted, he still had to beat really good players to get there. Like, he had to beat Suarez, and
afterwards he beat good players and losers too.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and Biddy's been how many consecutive seasons has Biddy been on the PR? It's been a lot of consecutive seasons. Like,
it's been a lot. Mr. Consistent, for sure.
He's definitely Mr. Consistent, and I would say he's like that very strong like kind of borderline between that crowd we were talking, like, so like you have like Tweak, Nairo, you know, and then you kind of have like that middle range of I say middle range, but they're all PGR caliber players,
Yeah.
and like, you know, James, Justin, Jackal, and then like Biddy's like that firm next there, because after that is where the
He's a
lists
gatekeeper.
yeah, he's a gatekeeper, because after that is where the
Like,
lists start to change. And
if there's one thing that like I can say for a lot of these players, like going towards like the 8 through like even the 15 range, or is that like the 8 to 12 range, is that the only thing that these players are missing? Oh, by the way, hi Chris, is number
yeah,
8.
my bad. I just did it and then I
Yeah,
just
it's
left it there.
fine.
But so
Yeah, the one thing that I can say for a lot of these players, it's just about breaking through that like skill ceiling next. You know what I mean? So it's all just a matter of time before it all kind of starts clicking. And yeah, Inkling main Christmas, nerds, geeks, and gamers. Christmas moving up exactly one rank from last season. And when the season first kind of started, when I was thinking about it in my head, I had Christmas penciled a bit higher just because his results were that good. Like Garden State Showdown had a crap ton of entrants. Obviously, third at Fireside and second at the first Fusion Weekly, which I believe had almost 100 entrants or something like that.
it probably was about there, or maybe a hair over.
Yeah. From like the 1 through 8 spots, there was not a lot of contention. They were
No,
just like, all right, what is now? Do this week, and it's like when we got to Christmas, like, yep, this is 8. It's like there wasn't a lot of like debate.
yeah,
So
he solidified himself as a top 10 player.
well, that's the cool part, is I think like he's actually, I said Diddy's like in that range, but I think Christmas is now kind of officially in that range too, because this has been going on basically since he first got PR'd, and
Yeah.
it's that's been consistent too, because you don't really see him drop a lot of sets that he shouldn't, and he really only wins, you know, he'll get a win that you wouldn't necessarily expect.
Yeah. And also, like, he's got, I always say this when I talk about Christmas, but, like, he's got such a great mindset. Like, he's always willing to learn, and he wants, like, always trying to, you know, it's always a new day, and he wants to just put his best foot forward and try better next time. Like, it's hard to find people that are just so, like, like mentally strong like that, especially in a game that can be incredibly frustrating like this one can. So,
He's like,
you know,
oh, PR application, sure, I'll submit that.
yeah, when he's in the middle of, like, butt fuck nowhere, Pennsylvania, he's like, yeah, I can watch the stream tonight. But
Yeah, man. Shout out to Christmas.
mind you,
putting in
doesn't
work.
drive either. So my man is out here, top 10 player in the state, and does not own a vehicle to drive in. So,
Yeah, he also,
shout out
I
to-
don't think was he one who didn't own the game for a bit too?
I believe so.
Yeah, I don't
Actually,
have no
does he
idea.
does he still own it? Does he
I'm not
still
sure.
not
I'm
own it? I don't know.
pretty sure that was a thing, but yeah, he's got.
CNN will fact check me on that later.
Yeah,
but
he's
until
just
then.
he's definitely made some serious strides. I remember it felt like not that long ago he won the Arcadian, so there's that. Anyways,
Number 9.
Yeah.
Oh, number 9. Again, this is Hungry's turn. You get to talk about your other favorite player.
this is a good one. I think this
Making his triumphant return.
yes, triumphant return indeed.
It is YouTube man, otherwise known as the Great Gonzalez.
Didn't submit.
So he was surprised to even be on. I think because the thing is Gons had very minimal attendance this season, but would kind of go to things kind of after losing all interest in the game for a long time, and it was just kind of stopped entering. He wasn't even power ranked last season because I don't think he went to a single thing over the course of like the 3 months, and then he came to a Platinum Star. I believe it was in October. It was the first one of the season,
I think
and
he
got second. Yeah, he lost to James, second out
Lost
of
to James twice.
100
and he beat
GG's James. Yeah.
and he beat Wishes in Losers Finals. It was just like,
Hammer.
oh, what year am I in?
Yeah. Second out of X entrance, GG's James.
Yeah,
But
I just realized
like,
the slide's messed up too, by the way. That should be a second at Platinum Star season 4, but yeah. Still collects wins when he goes out.
yeah, then just look at the wins. Like, he beats like top 5 players in the state, and Gons has somehow found his passion for life again through this 2D man. Makes no sense to me either. But yeah, again, another case of, hey, if Gons maybe submitted, could have been an argument to put him higher. Maybe, probably not, but still, like, we can't ignore those results. So
Yeah, it's
nice.
one of those things. It's like, you know, he's a clear top talent player. He has been for a long time, and just because he stopped showing up, even if you do show up, you're still capable of getting those wins. I mean, not many people have the Leon win, or not many people have the Wishes win, or the Jack win for that matter. And Haven is he was PR level at some point and still at this point. So, he goes out casually and kind of collects these wins. So definitely not a surprise to see him back anytime he's attending. I don't even know how many tournaments he attended last season. It really wasn't much.
It's not like Gon's level of attendance, but he still went to like a fair amount of stuff.
Well, Gon's level of attendance traditionally is like several tournaments
Every
a week,
day.
literally every day. But that's we're a little bit removed from that timeline. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe it's coming back.
Yeah. And rounding out our top 10, remember what I said earlier about breaking through skill ceilings?
Wait, hold on. I don't want to spoil it again. I want to do it the right way. Next time I'm using regular OBS, but yeah, breaking through skill ceilings. All right, I'm there. Strawhat.
Yeah, moving up, 4 ranks this season? I think it's what that says.
4 ranks, yeah. He was 14 last season, barely made it.
Making the highest jump out of anybody on the PR this season. Is Strawhat. So again, what I mentioned earlier about like A, having a good mentality, and B, being able to like burst through that skill ceiling of like, okay, Strawhat was that perfect example of it last year where it's like, okay, he made it on the PR, albeit on one of the 14th out of 15th place, and then he continued to, show up, and yeah, he continued to do well. As you can see by the wins there, like not many. Jewel obviously is a top 10 player in New York. Not many people have the Wishes win. Jalil, for those wondering, is Wraith, who was power ranked in the top 10 last season. Again, just look at the wins, just a model consistency.
There's not many people who could rival Strawhat's like mentality. Like he's just always in it. He's always motivated. He's constantly on the grind.
And that's
kind of what happens when you're on the grind.
And he's going to a lot of things. So that plus that equals, top 10 PR placement.
Yeah, it's not easy because I know he was at he went to like a couple forges this season and stuff like that. So he's making an effort to, continue to improve and, get his name out there. And again, like I said, breaking through that, that top 15 range into now officially top 10 range. So the second time in the 3 seasons where a South Jersey player from Salty Joysticks has been top 10 in the state. So
yeah, man, Salty's sending him out, and Strawhat kind of being. At first, it just seemed like you were guaranteed one South Jersey representative, and now Strawhat is now his own representative. Because I don't know, there's still a lot of good talent in South Jersey.
Yeah, they're all really good, and I wouldn't be surprised if if everybody just starts kind of migrating a little bit more, and I guess vice versa as well. Things can change.
Well, the cool part about Strawhat is and Hungry just mentioned this, is a mentality, and he kind of, I could tell he brings that along to like his scene too. He's trying to push the other guys to kind of get better, and kind of gets a good friendly rivalry, it seems like, anytime I see on Twitter. So that's always good stuff to see too, and that kind of thing does work. I mean, that's good energy.
Here's the part where everybody baby rages. Hungry, take it away.
Man, this is one of my favorites.
Surprise!
And every time you get to talk about it,
Jabig. Every
Did he
time,
change his tag?
No one's ever expected him, man. But here he is. He had a little bit of compared to his last season, it wasn't as powerful, but he definitely collected those wins when it mattered the most. Stuff like Sinji, and he also had a win on Wishes as well. It's not.
And I went on Mile, who is now I think top 10 in New England or something like that. So.
Oh yeah, Jalil does have a win on Wishes. That's right. I remember that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why that wasn't listed there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's sometimes it's tough putting these things together, but
yeah, like I said, this is only a small fraction of what somebody sees. We were just kind of picking at what we figured was the best, but I guess that kind of got lost in the cracks somewhere. But yeah again, like
the slides, they're just pretty.
Yeah, they're just vessels for our awards to talk about how okay of a season that Jalil had. Now that he's, I guess, changed his tag officially, to which I did not know that. So
yeah, it's official
again,
Smash TV.
The information is public, so if there's any discrepancies, you'd always see it.
That's I'm glad you're bringing this up again now because that's true. So that's why these are all public. So if you go through and look through all the Google forums where people submitted the applications, you can look and see what kinds of wins people had. But I mean, I could even go back to the slide just because I think it's interesting. I mean,
it's also really pretty to look at.
Hey, thanks. It's a nice fall background there. But yeah, I mean, he's got to win like Sinji, Wishes, like that right there. That's 2 PGR players formerly last season. Like, say what you want about him. Otherwise, I know it's fun. It's like hip to hate on Wraith mostly just because I don't know. It's like a meme at this point, but the dude's really good. Like, I think he is anyways.
My man is Schneitz, so you're good on him again. Kind of a stumble out of the top 10, but. I wouldn't be surprised to see him kind of put it together because Lord knows with whoever comes out tomorrow, Jalil's going to have the scoop frame 1.
Also, plus, wait, what?
No, I'm just.
Who said that? Now I was going to say, plus he attends a lot, and that does help your case a lot. I think
yes.
Jalil goes to DNA pretty much every week, and he's going to Fusion a ton. He goes to the monthlies, so that's another part of what makes you good is being able to go consistently and placing well. So
I think you got like a 4th or a 5th at a PSS monthly too.
Yeah,
placing high in those monthlies really help.
Yeah, and the weeklies also help as well. If people like Sinji and such keep going DNA, then those wins are going to present themselves. So
yeah, they're there, man. They're there for the taking, and you're starting to see other people like Tweak starting to come out the locals. But we'll get more into that a little later on. I pointed out earlier that little calendar icon in the top right of your screen. But for the meantime, we'll keep moving forward. Number 12. One of my personal favorites, a little bit biased because of the main is Maverick Hunter, who is actually up a spot this season.
Yeah, Mav's always kind of hung around this like 11 to 13 range. It's another one of those cases of just like putting it together enough to where you can break through the skill ceiling. Like Mav is always like really solid at the weeklies. He doesn't always get to put it together at the monthlies, which is unfortunate. But like he was able to he had a really good start to the season, like a win on Wishes at the Players Ball, which was a big deal.
Also not on the slide, by the way. It's so funny. But
why is Biddy? I'm gonna have to talk to Biddy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to blame Bidman too because you actually gave me the clips of him playing Wishes, so I don't blame you.
I'm throwing Bidman under the bus right now.
He's not here. We can
love you.
We're allowed.
Yeah, I'll give him a hug later.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, it's always been a case of just like a really, consistently good weekly performances. Again, it goes to DNA almost every week, goes to the other weeklies just as frequently. It's just a matter of just kind of stringing it together consistently. And I know Mav has what it takes to be a top 10 player in the state, just because. Again, he has the skill set to do so. It's just a matter of consistency and getting everything down packed. But again, always kind of hanging around. He's another one of those like lower end gatekeepers. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you're vibing if you're like in that like a 16 to 20 range that doesn't exist, like if you can beat Mav, there's a good chance you can probably hang around with the cool kids.
Definitely, so. And Maverick he's a. He's another one who this past season not as much, but traditionally, and I'm starting to notice he's coming again this season. He goes to DNA a lot, and he's someone like he'll go toe to toe with like a Sinji. He'll take that experience. He'll take him to game 10. He won't necessarily win, but he's like a hit away from it most times. So he's kind of that picture of as you mentioned, Koopa. Like he could be a top 10 player once he kind of finishes it out, but he's always very, very competitive, and he's tough to beat. He really is.
Yeah, Mega Man is something. So good on Mav. Again, just he's been PR'd for the last like however many Plower rankings in a row.
Since he won his Arcadian.
I think since the beginning of Ultimate, he's been power ranked.
Well, I think he got on.
He got on the very last one.
That one,
Smash 4, right. Yeah.
We don't talk about that one.
Yeah, that's true. I'm sorry. I even mentioned it.
It's fun. It's fun to talk about for that one reason. Hungry knows why.
I'm not saying. I'm saying nothing.
Gotta go. Number 13.
Number 13 is another return.
Yeah, another return.
Yeah, Lemon T bringing it back. He was top 10 in the first Ultimate season, a little bit absent, and then he started bringing it back. collected some pretty good wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he had multiple wins on Zamba, and then other stuff like this, like everywhere in between, like Bankai and Sensei and Maverick Hunter and all.
Yeah, when you look at it, when you kind of look at it up close, like it's another one of those like seasons that'll sneak up on you because like Lemon T's big thing has always been just again another issue of consistency. Like some weeks he'll do really good, he'll get like top 5, top 4 finishes at the stacked weeklies and do pretty okay at the monthlies. But then he'll get like 17th or 25th and kind of like bottom out. So there are a few consistency issues, but like when he was on, man. As you can see, like a top 8 at Xenosaga, New York is not an easy place to play as an invader. Winning a Spectrum Weekly in a row. Rest in peace, Spectrum viewer. We miss you.
I mean, it's basically back.
Let me reflect. Let me mourn.
All right, you can mourn. Same weekly still occurs.
Yeah, but again, good stuff to Lewis. I know he's probably watching right now, so good stuff, dude. Hope you can continue to press forward and do well because he did really well this past weekend. Like, the season started officially. He got out of Pool's winner's side. So
no, also, what was it? Wasn't there another Xenosaga this month? He got 7th at. I'm pretty sure. Was it last weekend?
Yes.
Yeah, last weekend just happened. So I mean that's consistent. And as you mentioned, New York is a difficult place. So, I mean, definitely not a fluke. He's one of those guys who definitely started off very strong in the beginning of Ultimate.
Yeah.
So
another case of like the meta and the state kind of catching up to you a bit, especially when everybody starts playing Wolf.
Yeah, literally everyone. So there's definitely that. But moving right along, and this is where it gets interesting. I know everyone's this is where you start to wonder. Yeah, a little bit of surprises, or maybe not, depending who you are. But number 14, very big fan, Haven.
Coming back once again from the depths.
Yeah.
It's Haven.
With some good wins there.
Shantae.
Yes, please. Again, Haven, another one of these, another trend with, the same thing with Lemon Tea, where it's like, when you kind of look at it up close, it's like, oh yeah, he's got a win on Leon, which is not a lot of people have that. The placings are really well, both at the weeklies and the monthlies that he did attend.
Yeah, that Scarlet SmackDown was actually huge. Like, it was like attendance wise, stacked wise, and he beat like half the people there. Like it was a pretty insane run.
Yeah, only losing to Biddy. It's another one of those things. Like I feel bad for Haven, but I know he's a good boy who's trying to focus on his studies and get good grades. And it really makes you think, like, if he had the time and the negligence that other students might have to attend a lot more tournaments throughout the school year, just like how like good he really could be. Because like when he's on, man, like you can just see by the results, he's a really really tough out.
Yeah, it's interesting because he actually had some like what do you remember what season he was PR'd before he was not? Was it season 2?
It was the second season.
Okay, yeah, because I think around that time is when he had, I think he did pretty decently at like Collision back then, and like he's been always kind of like on the radar. So yeah.
Oh, I forgot I picked the Wario Ditto for this.
Yeah, against the infamous Beady Bean.
Yeah, shout out to Beady Bean.
You ever see? I've seen him in Walmart.
Jesus Christ. Good stuff to Haven again. Hopefully, hopefully he gets Shantae. That's what I'm gonna hope for Haven. I hope we both get Shantae because I love Shantae. And if you don't like Shantae, I don't like you.
I just don't know how to break this to you, but
come on. Man.
I'm not going to. It's okay. We'll just move on.
All right, guys. Collect your money.
Yeah,
you got it.
Before we get into this, if you guys have noticed a trend, there hasn't been a single newcomer to the PR yet. I feel like this has just been a massive Nintendo Direct, and this is us teasing a new video game at the end, but there's one more person we've yet to reveal. To spoil it, this is a brand new person to the power rankings. Hungry, take it away.
All right, so someone owes somebody $5. I know that much at least.
Somebody definitely owes David $5 in a handshake.
Sensei.
Yeah,
dude. Since I met Sensei, one of the first things he said to me is like, "Yo, how do I get on the PR? I want to get on the PR." Like that was like one of the first conversations I ever had with him. And I'm like, oh, you just submit your thing, blah blah blah, keep going to stuff, and I'm sure you'll get on it eventually. And it is eventually now.
Yeah, like Sensei's a new fish. Started. I remember meeting him a lot at the DNAs where he was getting like top 8 and doing really well, and then he kind of, vanished a bit. But again, looking at the results up close, like my man went places and he did really really well. Like, the like a lot of these weeklies, like we said, the weeklies have been bumped up a bit, so they do matter a lot more. Then these kingdoms are getting like 30, 40 entrants. So like they're, it's not a, an easy pushover tournament. Everyone's gonna have those once in a while, but like these fusions are getting like 100+ entrants. And again,
Not to
17th.
mention his run at Tri-State Showdown. That's where he kind of went off there.
Yeah, for
Like,
real.
it says 17th, but that's like
that's a hard fought 17th.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's like a 2-0, but it was close 17th. Like, you know what I mean?
I feel
Like,
I feel proud about this because like I feel like Sensei first started to come around, at least as far as I know, like when DNA started to come around.
Yeah, for sure.
So
like, that's definitely where most people know him from,
and that's what
and like
it
the
makes,
Newark stuff too.
dude. It makes me happy because like you come from whatever region, like you're seeing Strawhat in South Jersey. Sensei was otherwise a quote unquote like no name North Jersey player, and I mean it's. PR, take it with a grain of salt, but like, yeah, you could basically make it on these things. Like you said, he was asking about the PR, how to get on it, and here he is. So it's very attainable. A lot of times it is just going out to things because Sensei is at a lot of DNAs. He is going to Fusion. He goes out.
Yeah,
that's the only way.
Grind don't stop.
It don't stop, and that's the only way you get wins. So
yeah, if you put your nose to the grindstone and just continue to practice and get better and keep a good head on yourself, and yeah, you can accomplish almost anything. So yeah, that's a big component of that, and that's everything. So just some last end stuff to kind of tie up. The image is not done yet. That will probably be done within the week. The season has already started, as we stated. It started back on January 1st. It will finish on March 31st. So there's going to be a lot of fun stuff to attend. Whether if you're traveling out of region, there's stuff like Genesis and Frostbite. And if you go to Final Saga, if that's your cup of tea, if you go to California, that's also in March. There's something else I wanted to say. I completely forgot what it was though.
Yeah, no honorable mentions. Fuck you guys. You guys take it too seriously. I don't care.
Yeah, I just want to say like my piece on that, and we're not saying anything else about who else was. People kind of took the HR thing and ran with it a little bit too heavy last season. Number one, we don't count that as an official ranking, so please don't put it in your Twitter bio. And if you did, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to we didn't want to give you that false sense of ranking shit because we don't acknowledge it on the PR and it's not an official ranking. If you guys want to know, just ask us. That's basically just our way of making the information more transparent and being like, basically, this is if the PR was included the 16th, 17th, and 18th place, that's who it would be. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. We're gonna keep on moving on.
Yeah, I wasn't even gonna bring it up.
Yeah,
because yeah. Anyways,
we're just gonna. If you guys got questions, you can message us. And I remember what I was gonna. So, number one, I want to give a shout outs to Hungry as well as the other panelists for helping about this. Again, it's hard with the holidays coinciding with the PR season because there's just a lot of time spent with other people. So I want to thank everybody for doing their part. I want to thank Chris for obviously streaming and putting together the slides. This is a pretty despite we're 2 weeks late, this is a pretty well organized machine.
So
this is we got everything done in a pretty fine fashion.
This is a pretty it might not seem like it, and I know I'm just so cool where I can make the stuff look easy, but there's a lot of preparation that goes into this just because between actually compiling the list and then putting it all together, until one day some of it's automated, but until that day I'm doing most of the stuff manually. The PR panel, they're doing all of their weighing manually. And just a reminder that all these things are public, all these things being the submission forms. So, yeah, if you have questions or if you just want to know more details about it, check those out. They're going to be linked in the description of this VOD, so you'll be able to find that.
The VOD will be a placeholder until the image is actually up. That, like I said, that'll probably be done by the end of the week. I want to give a shout out to the photographers that provided these
Oh yeah, let me
photos
get
for
their
the slideshow.
Twitters right now.
Yeah, so a good chunk of the photos were I grabbed from Ramses, photographer extraordinaire from Central Jersey. Chris is gonna pull up their
Yeah,
information
there we go.
right
Found
now.
him right now. Cool.
Yeah, so you can follow Ramses on Twitter. That's where he gets all his photography stuff from. Again, he's great at what he does, and we wouldn't be able to convey like the players the way that we could if it wasn't for the hard work that he did. So I'm very greatly appreciative of the public albums and stuff like that he puts out for all the weeklies and stuff, because like nobody uploads pictures of weeklies. Like that was super fucking convenient. And I also want to give a shout outs to my man Mike Picks and Pylons for providing a handful of photos for the event as well. A media guy for Gen Game does a great job at all their events and providing a handful of photos for the event as well. So definitely, I want to give credit where credit is due. These guys are fantastic, and yeah, that's about all I have.
So, before we break here, I'm looking. I kind of want to give you guys a little bit more information on events that come up, and if you are maybe someone newer or not, you don't really know like the current setup of the state, or you're a local player and you want to be more involved, I just want to give you a general idea. We kind of went over the data and rules at the beginning of this, so you can go back and watch that. But as far as events go, the way the state currently functions, and it's been doing this now for the past 4 seasons and moving forward, is there's a monthly in North Jersey, there's a monthly in Central Jersey, like at least statically to the Master Hand channels, and then there's Fusion Weekly every single Monday, where it's a big attendance and you get a good mixture of players from all over, and then you have the DNA Weekly in North Jersey, and then there's like so many other weeklies, like Salty Joystick has one.
Kingdom
in South
is another
Jersey,
one.
Kingdom's another one in North Jersey. So there's a lot of weeklies out there. So there's basically guaranteed events, and so if you're looking for the larger scales and you're looking for monthlies, keep to the Master Hand channels, because the monthlies happen mostly the same times every month. So if you know that like Platinum Star is in the beginning of the months, which it is, first or second week, you could count on that and then just go on the channel to basically confirm it. But if you're looking to kind of net wins and looking for the good places, that's where you start. So check out the weeklies. You're basically guaranteed monthlies here. There is going to be an Arcadian next weekend for anyone who's looking to make a pretty good initial push for the season moving forward. That is going to be at the Forge. There we go. So this is kind of the first thing you have to look at event wise, and then after that you'll have the Platinum Star event starting in February. We unfortunately missed January, but that is quite all right. So I just wanted to kind of go over that before we broke today. So if anyone's interested in like, oh, I want to be on the PR, like how do I do that? Like that's where you start. Just start going to some of the events.
Yeah, and the one thing I always say around a PR is don't look at being unranked as like a bad thing. Like, this, I said it earlier in the stream, but like this is a really hard state to get power ranked in because everybody is so fucking good. So don't look at it as a deter. Just look at it as oh man, there's just more opportunities to get better. And like I said, the season just started, and there's some people that have kind of been like on the fence to where like, if the season was extended like another month or so, the list could have looked a little bit different. But we just choose to do things at a 3-month clip versus a 4-month clip just to keep things seasonal. But yeah, that's about all I have to say. Again, I want to say thanks to Chris for putting this all together, and shout outs to all the viewers that were in chat today. I think we capped out at one point at like 160.
Something like that. Yeah, the power rankings are cool, and so don't really expect to tweet until the graphic is done. You could always refer to this VOD and everything else, but I like to put everything out all together so it doesn't get all sloppy and gets seen by the most people. So as soon as that's all ready, you'll see a tweet going out with the graphic. Obviously, everyone tagged, everyone involved in the reveal. Obviously the link to this particular reveal show, this podcast.
Yeah.
So.
And we will have a proper podcast sometime next week because we do have a Nintendo Direct to talk about tomorrow. So.
Heck yeah, man. That'll be exciting. Who knows? Maybe we'll get a character on the spot. That would be something.
Dante, I'm coming for you, man. What if it's Dante? Or what if it's like Beautiful Joe Dante?
I think you want that so bad.
I know what the 3 is. I know what the 3 is. It's actually push mode. They're gonna make a 3rd one, and that's
I'd be hype. I love that game.
Yeah, that game's really good.
Push was my therapy dog. Yeah, so that's going to be it for us. We'll have a more proper podcast next week, like we said. Enjoy. Congratulations to the top 15. Don't get farmed.
Yeah.
That's my only advice moving forward. Don't lose to Are Hungry.
Whoa.
All right,
Dude,
everyone.
every season, I don't get ranked, but I get broken wins. I'm just gonna say it out there.
That's fair.
Don't at me
Make
on
sure
that.
you submit your results next season.
Yeah, submit or forever be salty. That's my next piece of advice. Good night, everybody.
Yeah,
We'll see
good
you
night,
next time.
guys. Thank you.
Subscribe to my YouTube.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have put the video.
I put it in the chat.